The heartwarming $70,000 gift that transformed my life after my husband's betrayal. It was a moment that felt ripped from the pages of a fairy tale, a silver lining emerging in the midst of chaos. Claire stood at her front door, the early summer sun casting golden rays over her suburban neighborhood. She had just received a shocking phone call that changed everything. A gifted $70,000 donation, no strings attached, had come from Mr. Johnson, a local veteran and her late father's best friend. And it hit her like a tidal wave of emotion. Just when she thought she was piecing her life back together after unraveling, something extraordinary landed in her lap. As she hugged her children tighter that evening, she felt both joy and anxiety spiral within her. The thought of opening a clinic for those in need, filling the healthcare void in her community, danced around her mind. It was everything she dreamt of, yet at that moment, guilt clawed at her heart. Did she deserve such generosity? Amid the whispers of betrayal from her estranged husband, this gift weighed heavily like a lead balloon. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. In her quiet kitchen, the aroma of roasted chicken couldn't mask the tension that hung in the air. Each time she stirred the pot, memories of her husband's infidelities flashed before her, taunting her fragility. Friends had shared whispers that cut deeper than blades. They all viewed her as a beacon of strength, the good nurse they called her, yet the fragility of her world nagged at her soul. She had devoted her life to others, now was it time to prioritize herself for once? As the community prepared to rally around her, staying silent was becoming impossible. Claire could feel the hushed conversations in the streets as neighbors exchanged glances filled with pity or admiration. They brought meals, encouragement, but also a mix of doubt. Does she really deserve it? What's the catch? Echoed in her heart like a haunting refrain. With each act of kindness, the impending weight of their expectations crushed down on her, growing heavier. Her watercolors began to dry, a limitation for the clinic that was finally within reach, and she felt the pressure mounting. One morning, while contemplating her next step, she ran into her husband at the local coffee shop. Their connection fizzled like a pathetic spark, and every word he spoke felt like fingernails on a chalkboard. With clenched fists, Claire found the courage to lay bare her hurt, revealing the hidden truths locked away in her heart. But could breaking the silence lead to forgiveness? Would the whispers cease, or would they only grow stronger? As Claire faced the crossroads of her life, the possibility of both healing and retribution lingered in the air. One path called for adventure, the other offered comfort. In her mind, all mingled together like the colors in her almost forgotten palette. In that moment, Claire was left pondering, could this gift lead her to redemption, or would it simply dredge up more pain? The heart of her suburban world pulsed around her, their eyes glued to her next move, as hope and doubt intertwined like fate itself. With everything on the line, one heavy question loomed large. Was she ready to embrace her new journey, or would she retreat into the shadows of her past? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that her world was teetering on the edge. The weight of the $70,000 gift enveloped her like an embrace, warm and promising, yet suffocating all the same. As she exchanged forced pleasantries with her husband at the coffee shop, a wave of clarity rushed over her. She had to confront the truth, both of her feelings and their fractured relationship. "Claire," he began, his voice low, "can we talk?" There it was, the invitation she both craved and feared. Her heart raced. Part of her wanted to toss her coffee in his face and storm out, but another part hungered for resolution. "Sure," she replied, glancing at the other patrons. Their watchful eyes made her skin prickle, but she pushed that discomfort deep, focusing instead on the man in front of her. As they stepped onto the patio, the summer heat wrapped around them, merging with the tension between their bodies. "You know how much I care about you," he said, his brows furrowed, "and I never meant to hurt you." Claire bit her lip, holding back the torrent of hurt. She had waited too long to voice her pain, too long to numb it all. "You say that," she began, trying to keep her voice steady, "but words aren't enough. You shattered our family. You shattered me." He flinched, the shame washing over his features like a summer storm. "What do you want me to say?" "Honestly, I want you to understand how this has affected me, our kids." She leaned forward, feeling raw and exposed. "Do you have any idea how hard it's been pretending everything is okay while I'm falling apart inside?" Tears brimmed in her eyes, and she blinked them away fiercely. What she hadn't realized was how much this confrontation mattered. Her heart thudded, not just with anger, but with an odd sense of release. I know I did terrible things," he whispered, his eyes softening. "But can't we find a way to fix this? I love you." The words hung in the air like a delicate snowflake, drifting slowly to the ground. Did love really ever conquer all? Claire felt a stirring of hope, but it was laced with uncertainty. Could she forgive the man who had inflicted such deep wounds? Just then, the cafe door swung open, and Mr. Johnson stepped out, his eyes catching Claire's. When he walked over, she saw the kindness etched into the wrinkles of his face. "Everything all right?" he asked gently. His presence acted like an anchor, pulling Claire back to her original purpose. "Mr. Johnson, thank you for the donation. I want to start a clinic to help those who can't afford health care. I thought maybe—" The old veteran's face broke into a warm smile. "It's an incredible idea, Claire. You have the strength to do this. I've seen it in you for years." Standing there, she felt the hope rekindling, rising like a freshly lit flame. But should she put her energy into a healing journey for others instead of fighting for her marriage? "Please think about it," he said, before turning back to the cafe, leaving the two of them in limbo once more. As Claire shared an electric moment of awareness with her husband, the world around her faded. The echoes of doubt still loomed, whispering in her mind. Would this new chapter of her life be defined by rebuilding her marriage or her passion for helping others? Moments later, another thought crept in, forcing her chest to tighten. What if she could do both? With decisions ahead that felt monumental, Claire knew she had to act fast. She stood at the crossroads, poised to make a choice that could either lift her spirit or shatter it further. Could she truly forge a path of healing that encompassed love, hope, and her dream of the clinic? She inhaled deeply, gathering every ounce of courage she had. The weight of her decision pressed down. Each heartbeat felt an echo of what was to come. As she looked into her husband's eyes, the question hung palpably in the air. Were they ready to fight for each other, or would they crumble under the weight of the past? Claire's heart raced as she held her husband's gaze. The air was thick with unspoken words, memories, and the heaviness of the moment. She could feel every pulse in her body, a battle between love and the jagged shards of hurt he had left behind. "Do you really love me?" she found herself asking, the rawness of it hitting them both like a sudden chill. Because love isn't just saying it, it's showing it, day in and day out. His expression faltered, a mix of hope and desperation crossing his face. "I want to show you, Claire. I want to make things right. You know I've messed up, but I'm here. I'm willing to fight for us." A hollow laugh escaped her, tinged with disbelief. "Do you understand how broken I feel? Love shouldn't feel like a battle. Right now, I don't know if I can believe your words." But beneath her skepticism, a flicker of something stronger fought to emerge. Could they rebuild what had been lost? Behind her doubts, Claire could hear the potential of a new beginning echoing in her ears. "Maybe we can start with honesty," he suggested, desperation bubbling in his tone. "What if we lay everything out and you tell me all the ways I hurt you? I'll listen, no defenses." For a moment, an inner war raged within her. Part of her craved the release of sharing her pain, while another part feared that opening up would only deepen the wounds. But somewhere deep inside, she yearned for transparency, a chance to uncloud the murky waters between them. "Okay," Claire said finally, her voice quiet but resolute. But you have to promise to really listen. No interruptions, no excuses. She inhaled, preparing for the deluge, feeling the weight of unshed tears swell as she began. As she spoke of sleepless nights filled with worry, despair over their children's confusion, and the heartbreak of facing the world without the safety net of trust, she felt the tender fabric of her soul unravel. Each word took its toll, but it also freed her in ways she hadn't anticipated. He stood as stoic as a mountain, absorbing every ounce of her pain. She watched a storm of emotions wash over his face: anguish, regret, and finally a simmering determination. By the time the last words slipped from her lips, silence enveloped them like a heavy blanket. Claire felt exhausted, yet strangely lighter, as if the act of sharing had siphoned off some of her burden. "Claire," he finally spoke, his voice filled with a mix of awe and sorrow. "I had no idea. I thought I understood, but I didn't want to face just how deeply I hurt you. You're stronger than I ever gave you credit for." The sincerity in his voice washed over her, leaving a bittersweet taste. "Words can only carry so much weight," she said softly, "but if you really want to understand, you need to walk with me into this. I want to open the clinic, to help others, because I think it's a part of healing my own wounds." Her husband stepped closer, his eyes glistening with possibility. "Then let's do it, together. We fight for your dream and our family." The thought of moving forward filled Claire's heart with warmth, yet a small voice tugged at her, a reminder of the risk involved. How could she give him another chance? What if it all came crashing down again? As they stood together, something flickered, a hint of hope mingling with doubt. Claire could almost see the edges of a path, one that tangled between her healing and their fractured love. But could they truly navigate this tangled web together? "Let's start with honesty then," she whispered, more to herself than him. "Because I still have walls up, and they won't come down without a fight." His hand reached for hers, squeezing gently. "I'm ready for that fight. Just tell me what to do." Suddenly, Claire's heart thudded again, not with fear, but with a wild exhilaration. Could vulnerability be the key to unravel the tight knots of mistrust? As she implored the universe for guidance, the path ahead shimmered with possibilities, both agonizing and beautiful. But was she prepared to open herself fully, to venture into the unknown once more? The question lingered, unspoken yet potent, echoing in the backdrop of her mind as the sun dipped below the horizon. It took Claire a moment to gather her thoughts as the silence wrapped around them, heavy yet oddly comforting. She could feel the warmth of his hand in hers, a direct connection to the promise of something new. But the edges of her heart still felt jagged, like pieces of a shattered mirror. Could she trust him again? "Let's take this step by step," she finally said, her voice steadier now, the shadows of doubt receding just a little. "I need you to know what I need from you, not just now, but moving forward." He nodded, urgency sparking in his eyes. "Whatever it is, I'm here to listen." Claire took a deep breath. "First, I need reassurance. I need to know you understand why it's been so hard for me to trust. It's not just about us, it's about everything I've been carrying." As she spoke, vivid images filled her mind. The late-night arguments, the phone calls he hadn't answered, his absence in the little moments that mattered. "I didn't just hurt you," he said quietly, grappling with her words. "I hurt our children. I see them struggling, and I hate that I'm the reason they're affected. They shouldn't have to deal with this." Those words sank into Claire's heart, a potent mix of shared pain and unspoken guilt. "It's not just you, it's the effect your actions have had on all of us." She felt her resolve solidifying. To heal, we need to be honest with each other, and we need to show the kids what that looks like. Her husband's expression shifted. "Do you think they'll be okay once we start this again?" His uncertainty made her nervous. How could she offer him assurance when she wasn't completely convinced herself? "I hope so, but we need to be a united front. They've seen our struggles. They need to see us fighting for what we believe in, together." With every word, Claire felt a weight lifted, but a twinge of anxiety crept in. She had opened a door, and while she wanted to believe there was light on the other side, she couldn't shake the fear that it may lead to more darkness. "Let's be patient," he said, leaning closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'll do whatever it takes. Start by showing the kids, by reconnecting with them. I'll be better, Claire, I promise." As she watched him transform before her, a spark flickered inside. It was a mixture of hope, caution, a delicate balance. "This won't be easy," she warned, looking directly into his eyes. "If we're going to make this work, we can't rush it. We need to put in the time and the effort." "Are you willing to give me that chance?" he asked, almost pleading. "I'm here, aren't I?" Claire said, a small smile breaking through the tension. They spent the rest of the evening mapping out a plan, discussing how to approach the children, brainstorming ideas for the clinic, and identifying small steps toward healing. With each idea exchanged, Claire felt more empowered, like she was reclaiming not just her life, but also her sense of purpose. But as they drifted into the quiet of the night, Claire's thoughts invaded the hopeful moments. What if they couldn't hold it together? What if the wounds ran deeper than either of them realized? The shadows danced around them, intertwining with the resolve that had begun to bloom. "Claire," he called, breaking the silence, pulling her back. "I know we are starting over, but I want to make sure we don't get swept away again. We can't keep making the same mistakes." She turned to him, heart thumping. "Then we have to be diligent. We have to be transparent. No secrets." He nodded thoughtfully. "Absolutely. I promise to be an open book." But even as she smiled, a deeper fear lingered, a question that clawed at her heart. Was transparency enough to guard against the shadows of the past? As the glow of the moon peeked through their window, Claire felt both hope and apprehension. She was ready to rebuild, but could they truly honor the road ahead, one step at a time? And as they closed their eyes, the unspoken question loomed like a specter. What would happen when the past came knocking once more? Morning light spilled into the room, drawing Claire from her restless sleep. She blinked against the brightness, heart still pounding, from the dreams that had woven shadows across her mind. The early silence felt both serene and stark, a reminder that change had begun, yet still hung in the air like the last echoes of a storm. As she lay there, a warmth brushed against her hand. Her husband was still asleep, his face relaxed in peacefulness. She eased her fingers away, not wanting to disturb him, her mind racing with what lay ahead. Determined to make the most of this opportunity, Claire slid out of bed, careful to step lightly on the creaky floorboards. The magic of dawn felt like a blank page waiting to be filled with resolve, and for the first time in a long while, she felt a flicker of excitement about what their family might become. After a few moments in the kitchen, the aroma of brewing coffee wrapped around her like a comforting hug. She took a sip, letting the rich darkness awaken her senses, when suddenly a memory popped into her mind. The last Sunday family. Brunch, laughter floating, and then, abruptly, the chaos that followed. She shook off the thought, instead bringing herself back to the morning's possibilities, how to weave a tapestry of trust and hope for her children. As the children stirred awake, Claire felt a surge of determination. She called them to the table, the atmosphere a stark contrast to the heaviness of their recent reality. She wanted to create a safe space, a new beginning where they could openly speak and share their feelings, even if it felt risky. "Hey, kiddos," she said, a bright smile lighting her face. "I wanted to talk about some changes we're making." They looked at her, their sleep-sticky faces a mixture of grogginess and curiosity. Her daughter, Lily, studied her, her brow slightly furrowed. "What kind of changes?" "I know things have been tough lately, but your dad and I are working together to make things better for our family," Claire explained, her heart racing but her voice steady, determined to lead by example. "I hope so," her son Alex said softly, his gaze dropping to the table. "It's just hard to know what's real and what's not." That simple statement pierced through Claire. It reminded her further of the chasm their family had lived in. "I get that, buddy," she said gently, "but we're going to be straight with you. No more secrets. We're going to be honest about what's happening, even the stuff that feels hard to say. Lily nodded, still weighing Claire's words. Really? You promise? I promise. At that moment, she saw a flicker of hope as guilt melted from Alex's eyes. Okay, he replied, a bit more firmly. I guess I can try to believe you. The breakfast table transformed into a place of conversations and laughter, peppered with the familiar bickering that reminded Claire of their bond. Yet, as lightheartedness hovered, anxiety nagged at her, whispering doubts about whether this was just an illusion. But how else could they heal, if not by trying? After breakfast, Claire walked to the living room, feeling a current of decision flowing within her. She needed to face her husband, to set the course for this fragile venture together. He joined her, his hair tousled from sleep. The sincerity in his eyes was palpable. About what we talked about last night, she began, nerves tightening her chest. We need to talk to the kids together. It's important they see us as a team, strong and ready to fight for this family. He nodded, an earnest expression dawning. I agree. We can do this, Claire. Together. Gratitude swept through her as she felt the warmth of hope rise once again. Could this be the turning point they so desperately craved? But as they began making plans for that family conversation, Claire felt an unexpected chill in the air, an unwelcome reminder of their past lurking just beyond reach. Claire? Her husband's voice broke her thoughts, concern flickering across his face. What if the past comes back to haunt us when we're trying to be better? The question hung in the air, heavy and daunting. Claire swallowed, heart racing. Then we face it, together. But even as she spoke, a whisper of uncertainty slid through her mind. Would their resolve be strong enough to truly shield them from the shadows that threatened to invade their newfound light? As they prepared for the day ahead, she knew they were standing at the edge of a precipice. But how deep did that leap go? Would they find solid ground, or would they fall into a familiar abyss? Claire stared at the kitchen table, the wood cool beneath her palms. The sun rose higher, illuminating the little dust particles dancing in the air. Each moment pulsed with potential, and yet an uncomfortable weight hung in her chest. Had they really prepared for this leap? Her husband stood close, the silence stretching between them like a taut wire. The question he had posed lingered, like a shadow cast by their past misdeeds. What if the past came back to haunt them? It felt like a conversational cliff they teetered on. Maybe we should start with just us before we bring the kids into it, he suggested softly, his voice barely above a whisper. No, Claire replied, with a firmer tone than she intended. They need to see us address this together. I can't let them think we're uncertain. They've already felt enough instability. His brow furrowed slightly. Claire could see the intention in his eyes. He wanted to protect them from any possible pain, including the past. But she needed them to see that confronting their history was part of the healing. A small smile crept onto his face as he nodded. You're right. With that simple gesture, Claire felt a spark of hope course through her. They were partners again, ready to tackle things side by side. Claire directed her attention toward the hallway where laughter echoed, an invitation to reconnect with their children. Each step into the living room felt monumental. The kids were sprawled on the floor, surrounded by toys and a pile of books. Their innocence was a stark contrast to the weighty promises they were about to make. Claire knelt beside them, her heart swelling. Hey, buddy. Hey, sweet pea, she said, searching for the right words. Can we talk for a few minutes? Lily and Alex exchanged glances, curiosity shining through. They settled down on the couch, a semblance of uncertainty flickering across their faces. Claire took a deep breath and locked eyes with her husband, gathering strength from him. Your dad and I have been talking, she began, her voice ringing true but soft. We know things haven't been easy. We've made mistakes, and we have things to work on. But we're committed to making things right, to each other and to you, too. A twinge of apprehension clouded Alex's features. What kind of mistakes? With the daylight flooding into the room, what felt like an enormous weight embraced Claire's chest. But this was it. This was the moment. It's about how we've handled things. There were moments we let our problems take over, and it affected you both. We didn't communicate well, and we're sorry for that. Lily's brow knitted in confusion, her voice barely a whisper. Are you saying you're going to fight more? No, Claire rushed to assure her, shaking her head. We're saying we're going to do better. No more fighting in front of you. We're going to be honest and keep you in the loop. Alex leaned forward, eyes big, uncertainty painted across his features. But what if it doesn't work? Claire felt a lump form in her throat. We just keep trying. We won't give up, even when it's tough. The two children shared another glance, fear and hope intertwining within them. Claire's heart raced as she saw them processing what she had just revealed. She continued with more conviction. From now on, we will have regular family meetings, a safe space for our thoughts and feelings, so you can always express yourselves. Something is blooming here, and I don't want you to worry about anything. Their little faces began to brighten. Realization that they would see changes eased the tension in Claire's heart. Time felt fluid, each second stretching as her kids absorbed the message that not only she was trying to be better, but that they too could find their footing. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, slicing through the thick atmosphere that had formed. Claire's heart skipped. I'll get it, she said, trying to keep her composure as nerves curled in her stomach. As she opened the door, the air shifted. Standing there was a stranger, holding a large envelope, an anonymous delivery with a familiar weight. Excuse me, ma'am, this is for you, said the man, his voice neutral but low. The envelope bore no return address, only Claire's name printed in bold. What is it? She asked, confusion clouding her thoughts. With a knowing look, the delivery man shrugged. I don't know, ma'am, just a delivery. The envelope felt strange in her hands, heavy with possibilities. Could this be a turning point? An unexpected gift? When she returned to her family, the children's curious eyes were fixed on her. What's that? Alex asked, his young face scrunched with intrigue. I don't know yet, Claire replied, anxiety creeping back in. As she held the envelope tightly, she wondered what lay inside. Could the contents change everything, or was it simply another thread weaving into their complex story? As hope swirled in the room, Claire took a deep breath, caught between fear and excitement. This was not just a package, it was a promise of something new, something that might transform their lives once more. But as she slowly tore open the envelope, she couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was inside might expose more than she anticipated. Claire's hands trembled slightly as she ripped open the envelope. She pulled out a thick stack of papers. What was this? A moment stretched into eternity, and her stomach nodded at the unknown. Mom? Lily's voice broke through her haze. What is it? Claire glanced at her kids, their wide eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and concern. She could feel Alex inching closer, his little fingers twitching as they grasped for an answer. Claire took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. It's a letter, she replied, hoping her voice would steady. She unfolded the top page, scanning the carefully penned words. Dear Claire, it began. This is a gift. This gift comes with love and the hope for healing. You don't know me, and I don't know you, but I heard your story. Claire's heart raced, a mix of anticipation and dread swirling inside her. She read further, hugging the words tightly to her chest. The message explained that the sender was aware of her family's struggles and wanted to help. They had arranged an anonymous donation of $70,000 for therapy, family vacations, or whatever they needed to heal. Wow! Alex exclaimed, breaking the silence. That's a lot of money. It's incredible, Lily added, her eyes sparkling. But, Mom, who sent it? Claire's heart sank as she considered the implications. The intention was beautiful, enough to help them start fresh, to give the kids the stability they deserved. But who would offer such a thing? Why remained a mystery, lingering like a shadow over the shining gift. She forced a smile, which felt fragile. I don't know, but it looks like we'll have some choices to make. Things can change for us. Can we go on a vacation? Alex chimed in, his voice rising with excitement. Or maybe a pet, Lily suggested, her imagination jumping. Claire swallowed hard. There was a part of her that yearned to escape together, to find joy in the simple things, vacations, pets. Yet deeper down, doubts began to gnaw at her. Was it right to accept unsolicited help? What if the truth behind this gift altered their course in unexpected ways? She pursed her lips, unsure. We need to think it through, together. This isn't just about money, it's about trust and rebuilding. Their enthusiasm dimmed slightly, both children exchanging glances, the reality settling in. Claire could feel a wave of uncertainty crashing over the moment, threatening the little spark of hope they had just ignited. But how will we make sure this isn't a trick? Alex whispered. Claire's heart ached for him. That's a good question, buddy. We'll do our best. We'll approach this as a family and decide together. Remember what we promised? No secrets. Maybe we could talk to our family meetings about it, Lily suggested, her innocence shining through. Yes, a family meeting, Claire nodded, grateful for her children's resilience. We'll figure this out. We will. As Claire looked at the faces of her children, the warmth of their radical hope filled the room like sunlight. They were ready to navigate this new territory with her, confronting the questions that loomed ahead. But as she turned the envelope over in her hands, something caught her eye, a small note tucked inside. With shaking fingers, she pulled it out. It was handwritten, and a chill washed over her as she read the words. To heal, you must confront the past. Do not ignore the signs. Claire's breath quickened. What did that mean? Was this gift a blessing or some deeper test? The echoes of her past crept closer, the shadows unfurling again. The simple warmth of that kitchen felt distant as she realized this was only the beginning. And perhaps, in accepting this gift, they would be forced to face more than just their struggles. But could they really trust the unknown? With newfound determination, Claire faced her family. Whatever was coming next, they would face it together. The envelope in her hands felt like an unturned stone in a long road. Let's figure this out together, she said, her heart pounding with both fear and excitement. As she squeezed her children's hands, uncertainty hung thick in the air. What revelations awaited them, and what choices would they make? The journey was just beginning. Claire sat at the kitchen table, the letter spread out before her like an open map filled with untold destinations. The mixture of hope and dread churned in her stomach. She looked at Alex and Lily, whose excitement still filled the room, but she saw the worry etched on their brows. Can we make pancakes for dinner? Alex asked, attempting to lift the heavy silence. It was a request that spoke to their comforting routine, a normalcy they desperately clung to. Claire's heart fluttered at the thought. Sure, buddy, he replied, forcing a smile. Cooking together might just help shift the focus, allowing the tension around them to simmer down. How about we make them together? Lily jumped up, her little face lighting up. Yes, I'll help. She rushed to the pantry, an eager bounce in her step. As Claire joined in, gathering ingredients, the sound of measuring cups and whisks felt grounding. But every clink and scrape brought her back to the envelope, a reminder of the donations and the hidden note. Suddenly, the kitchen felt too small, filled with memories that clung to her like a damp shirt. The quiet embrace of home felt suffocating. What if accepting the money meant exposing the family more to the ghosts of their past? Each decision felt magnified. As they mixed the batter, Claire tried pushing the fears away. The children chattered joyfully, but her mind drifted back to the note. Confront the past. What past? Was it her late husband's betrayal or something deeper? Just then, Lily's laughter broke through her thoughts. Look, Mom, I made a heart with the batter. Claire turned to see Lily beaming, and for a brief moment, the weight on her shoulders lifted. That little heart was a symbol of resilience, showing that out of chaos could come warmth. Very creative, sweet girl, Claire praised, her eyes softening. She felt a flicker of renewed hope. Maybe the money could be a gift toward healing, not just financially, but emotionally too. After dinner, the family gathered in the living room, each kid sprawled comfortably on the couch. Claire took a deep breath, drawing upon her courage. We need to talk about the letter and make some decisions together. Their excitement dimmed again, uncertainty creeping back in. Do we really have to? Alex asked, fiddling with a toy. Yes, because it's important, Claire replied gently. This is about us, our family. We have a chance to start anew, but we need to do it together. Lily nodded earnestly, the innocence still glowing in her eyes. Can we use the money wisely, like for a family trip to the beach? That sounds wonderful, Claire agreed, a tender smile breaking through her worry. But we should also talk about therapy too, to understand everything that's happened. Alex tilted his head, sensing the deeper undertones. Will it help us not be sad anymore? At times, it might make us face some hard things, Claire admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. But it can help us find a way to feel happy again, to heal, together. Their eyes met, sharing a moment that felt heavy, yet full of possibility. Claire could feel their unspoken fears, and her heart swelled with love at their willingness to trust her. What if we use the money for a little vacation first? Lily proposed, bouncing slightly. We can build happy memories. Or a puppy, Alex chimed in, his eyes twinkling at the thought. Claire chuckled softly, the idea blossoming sweetly amid their discussions. Let's not rush. Every choice is important. How about we set a family meeting tomorrow? We can talk through everything. The kids nodded, their expressions shifting to one of determination. They were ready to be part of this journey, holding on to hope together. As Claire tucked the letter safely away, the words from the note echoed in her mind. She had to uncover the truth and confront her past, but maybe this journey was not one she had to take alone. Just as they settled into the comfort of their routine, Claire felt an unease twist in her stomach again. What exactly did the sender mean by signs? Suddenly, a knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. Her heart raced as she exchanged worried looks with her children. Who could it be? With a deep breath, Claire stood up, ready to face whatever awaited them on the other side. But would this visitor bring answers or more questions? Claire hesitated for a moment, her hand resting on the door handle. The soft knocking reverberated through her, echoing the uncertainty swirling in her mind. She could feel the children's anticipation behind her, their little hearts beating in sync with her own. What if we use the money for a little vacation first? Lily proposed, bouncing slightly. We can build happy memories. Or a puppy, Alex chimed in, his eyes twinkling at the thought. Claire chuckled softly, the idea blossoming sweetly amid their discussions. Let's not rush. Every choice is important. How about we set a family meeting tomorrow? We can talk through everything. The kids nodded, their expressions shifting to one of determination. They were ready to be part of this journey, holding on to hope together. As Claire tucked the letter safely away, the words from the note echoed in her mind. She had to uncover the truth and confront her past, but maybe this journey was not one she had to take alone. Just as they settled into the comfort of their routine, Claire felt an unease twist in her stomach again. What exactly did the sender mean by signs? Suddenly, a knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. Her heart raced as she exchanged worried looks with her children. Who could it be? With a deep breath, Claire stood up, ready to face whatever awaited them on the other side. But would this visitor bring answers or more questions? Claire hesitated for a moment, her hand resting on the door handle. The soft knocking reverberated through her, echoing the uncertainty swirling in her mind. She could feel the children's anticipation behind her, their little hearts beating in sync with her own. After a deep breath, she swung the door open. Staring back at her was a man, tall and shadowy against the dim evening light. His dark hair was tousled, and for a split second, Claire's heart sank. Could this be someone from their past? "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice steadier than she felt. "Claire?" He stepped forward, a hint of vulnerability softening his sharp features. "It's me, Tom. We need to talk." The name hit her like a freight train. Tom was her late husband's twin brother. Memories surged like a tidal wave. Thanksgiving dinners filled with laughter, summers spent at the lake, and the sudden silence after Peter's death. She didn't expect to see Tom again, not after that day when everything changed. "Tom?" Claire's voice wavered, caught between anxiety and shock. "What are you doing here?" "I know this is unexpected." He brushed his fingers through his hair, a nervous habit Claire remembered well. "I got your letter, the one about the donation and what it said." Her stomach twisted. She had no clue how Tom even knew about the letter. "You shouldn't have come here. Please, let me explain." The children peeked around her, their curiosity piqued. Claire's instinct was to shield them from this moment, but she knew she couldn't hide everything from them forever. She stepped back, allowing Tom to enter, wary but compelled by her own curiosity. "Sit down," she said, leading Tom into the living room. The space felt heavier, shadows dancing on the walls, full of unspoken words. "Alex, Lily," Claire gestured gently, "why don't you go play in your room for a moment?" Lily frowned, her childlike intuition picking up on the heaviness in the air. "Is it okay?" "It will be," Claire promised, though the words felt hollow. Once the kids scurried away, Claire faced Tom, crossing her arms protectively. "What do you want?" "I didn't know about the donation until a few days ago. I wasn't in town when everything happened. I need to share what I can." "The family we lost? The truth about Peter? What are you hiding, Tom?" His expression shifted, pain flashing momentarily in his eyes. "I came to tell you that there are things you don't know. Things Peter was involved in before he passed. It's important, Claire." Her chest tightened at his words. "What do you mean? You have to tell me everything." As Tom began to speak, the old warmth of familiarity slowly filled the room. He talked about debts Peter had hidden, choices made without any consideration for their family. Each revelation sank deeper into Claire's heart, tearing at her fabric of trust and igniting anger and sorrow. "What I'm telling you isn't just about Peter's mistakes," Tom continued, his voice thick with regret. "It's about the legacy he left behind, the money, the signs that lead to healing." Claire felt her heart race. Could this really be a path to understanding, to healing, or another betrayal, another secret tearing them apart? "Why should I trust you now?" she asked, her voice low, strained. Tom reached for his pocket, pulling out a small, worn wallet. Inside, there were photographs, snapshots of family moments, joyous yet bittersweet. "Because I want us to face this together, not just for you, but for Alex and Lily." As he laid the photos on the table, Claire felt an inexplicable pull towards them, an urge to uncover everything. The time for hiding was over. But what awaited her? In those pictures or buried within Tom's words? Was she ready to confront the past that loomed like a heavy fog in their lives? And as she glanced at the children in their room, laughter spilling into the air, a new weight settled on her shoulders. "Are you ready for this?" she whispered to herself. The answer came in the form of a soft breeze that drifted in through the open window, reminding her that sometimes uncovering the truth can lead to a renewal she never thought possible. In that moment, a new question thrummed through her mind. What if confronting her past was the key to paving a brighter future for her family? Claire felt as if the world had paused as she studied the photographs laid on the table. Each image revealed moments filled with laughter and joy. A younger version of her husband with his arm slung around his brother, both of them grinning widely. A snapshot of simpler times before the shadows had crept in. "What do these pictures have to do with your visit?" Claire asked, her voice steadier than she felt. She needed clarity amid the storm brewing inside her. Tom leaned closer, his eyes desperate for understanding. "They show the love we shared as a family, despite the mistakes. Peter struggled, Claire. He got caught up in choices he thought were necessary, but ultimately hurt everyone. I wish I had said something then, but I don't want to stay silent anymore. The money, it was supposed to alleviate the pain he caused. It's not just a gift, it's a chance for healing." Claire's heart raced as she wrestled with his words. Healing came with facing the past, but did that mean rebuilding a life intertwined with the ghosts of their former selves? "You say that, but how am I to believe he meant well?" Tom hesitated, his voice faltering. "Because he never wanted to hurt you. I witnessed him struggle. He wanted to protect you and the kids, but got lost. He meant to fix things. This donation was just the first step toward making amends, even beyond the grave. He was trying to give you support, encourage you to rebuild. He loved you, Claire." The intensity of his claim pierced through her guarded heart. Emotions tangled within her, grief for what had been lost and a flicker of compassion for the man she once loved. If that's true, why didn't he show it while he was alive? Tom swallowed hard, tears pooling in his eyes. He was scared, Claire, scared of losing you, scared of facing the truth about himself. He thought if he buried it all, it would go away. He wanted everything to be perfect. The money was an insurance, a way to ensure you had a future, even if he wasn't there to fulfill it. Insurance, Claire echoed, the word tasting bitter on her tongue. Insurance had forced her into a corner of mistrust, but maybe she needed to see it differently. "You weren't meant to suffer for his choices," Tom continued, determination etching his words. "If you can harness this, face it, maybe you can build a new future, a better one. You and the kids deserve that." The room felt heavier as she contemplated his plea. Her heart thudded steadily, whispering for courage. The weight of the past stirred in her, but could it really lead her somewhere new? "I want to believe you, but how do I move forward with this? Every layer of trust has been eroded by the secrets. His, yours," she gestured between them, "and my fears." Tom nodded sharply. "You would start by being open with your kids. They need to know that love doesn't always come with flaws. Yours, his, ours. Show them that healing isn't just about forgetting the past. It's about acknowledging it and choosing to grow regardless." Claire swallowed, looking down at the photos again, each one a reminder of a time filled with hope amidst the chaos. Could she really teach her children that, amidst the pain, love still flourished? "Claire," Tom said softly, "we're all hurting, but together we can make something beautiful rise from these ashes. I'll help you, I promise." She soaked in his sincerity as silence enveloped them, each heartbeat a reminder of the fragility of this moment. Could she truly forgive the man who betrayed her, even if love lingered in the periphery? "All right," Claire said finally, exhaling slowly. "Let's start by working together, with the kids and this donation. Maybe it's time to see this gift as a blessing, not just a burden." Tom's eyes lit up with relief, and Claire felt warmth creep into her chest. The promise of healing wasn't far-fetched. It felt like a strand of silver connecting the remnants of trust still lingering in her heart. Together, they walked to the children's room, the laughter a gentle reminder that even in the face of darkness, joy could still bloom. As the door swung open, Alex and Lily paused, their innocent smiles brightening the space. "Hey kids," Claire spoke, her heart light and firm. "We need to talk." "What about?" Alex asked, curious. "It's about your dad and the love he had for us." She paused, feeling the moment's gravity wash over her. "We're going to make changes, together, and I need you both to be part of this." Lily scooted closer to her brother, eyes wide with anticipation. "Like fun changes? A trip?" "Yeah, like fun changes, but it's more than that. We're going to be honest and confront what's happened. That includes love, fear, and hope, Everything. Their eyes softened as they absorbed her words, and Claire felt lightness bloom within her. It wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to push past the fear, ready to embrace the love that can exist alongside pain. As they sat together, making plans for the future, Claire's heart surged with faith. It was time to embrace uncertainty and mold it into something extraordinary, surrounded by those she loved. That evening, amid shared laughter and brainstorming, the shadows of the past began to fade, replaced by a bright, inviting horizon. And she knew this was their moment of transformation, a collective healing journey that would define not just moments, but the very fabric of their lives. Amid the chaos, she felt her heart weave back together, stitched with love, commitment, and hope. "Okay," she smiled, pulling her children in for a hug, feeling their warmth against her chest. "Let's start this adventure together." With every beat of her heart, Claire embraced the unknown, welcoming the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. It was now or never. Every return to vulnerability, every unforeseen challenge became a step toward that new dawn, one filled with compassion, understanding, and a love that transcended the wounds of the past. Together, they would rise anew, forging a path enriched with healing and hope. And as the sun set outside, Claire dared to believe that her vibrant journey was only just beginning. Now's the time to make a difference. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support the channel. Your click truly makes a difference. Comment below and share how you feel about this incredible journey. Don't wait, not even one more second, to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Together, we can inspire each other to heal and embrace life.